Okay, so good morning and welcome to Mindset Mondays with DTK. This is episode number 115 in an ongoing series of live broadcasts with designed for folk who are looking to get better at being who they be and are not distracted by merely getting better at doing what they do. I changed the intro to this because at the heart of having a growth mindset is really doing the real work and being open to the expanse and the change that's available. And what better time than in the middle of a lockdown to create the time to do the real work? All right, so take just a moment and click share now that the sound is on and invite your folks, your friends, your colleagues. The more voices, the richer the conversation. All right, so the quote that we're playing with is this one. You know, as I reread it, as I was preparing the email to go out for this one, I realized that it captures where we are right now on so many levels. Never be afraid to fall apart because it's an opportunity to rebuild yourself the way you wish you had been all along. And here's what's cool. This is the opportunity to look at a systemic level, not at the individual or the personal level. As leaders, our role is to rebuild not just ourselves, but also the system that we're a part of, our families, our communities, our businesses, our cities, our states, our nation, our world, to be what we wanted it to be all along. And here's the coolest part of that. What we've wanted all along, that part is different for each of us. So even if it's in this time of physical distancing or distanced socializing, it's time to connect and collaborate around what wants to be created next. Yeah, and that's a distinction I want to draw. It's not just what we want to see created next. It's what wants to be created next. It's what wants to emerge. Peter Senge talked about in the book Presence, talked about the idea that the whole is resident in each of the constituent parts. In other words, the part is the window to the whole. So our falling apart is indication that the whole has fallen apart as well. So as we rebuild ourselves, as we restructure, reconstitute, reinvent, and reinvigorate ourselves, so do we do that for the world. So what is it? So this is sort of a two-pronged question. What is it that you've wanted all along? And what is it that's seeking to emerge and has been seeking to emerge? Again, here's our playground. Never be afraid to fall apart because it's an opportunity to rebuild yourself the way you wish you had been all along. And Emily Gale says that it's about connecting personal values with intentions and ratcheting that up to the systemic level as well. How do we so we're not using terms that get us distracting. What is it about rejiggering our selves, our families, our communities, our cities, our states, our nations, our world to connect values and intentions so that we are living our values intentionally and intentionally expressing our values out in the world? I'm very struck by the rich opportunity here of taking this up to the systemic level. And I think part of the challenge we've been facing is we have been living so myopically attentive to the personal level for the last 5, 10, 15, 100 years that this is an opportunity to recalibrate, to look at the systemic level. The arguments that are going on back and forth around the nation and around the globe right now about when is too soon or when is too late, when is the impact on the economy outweighing the safety of the individual, and when does the safety of the individual outweigh the needs of the economy? Because in the long run, it's the same thing. So it's a fascinating place that we're in right now. I love it. The Lynn Young playing with intention as intention. Yeah, I really enjoy that. And I mean, there is a tremendous amount of there's a tremendous amount of tension as we're navigating conflicting intentions. The idea of individual freedom and being to move unfettered at the same time that there is an impact of our individual movement and exposure to the world. What are we bringing back home to our loved ones, particularly those who are at a higher risk? Where does the economy and the individual clash? We're watching them collide right now. And again, we have in our country in particular, there seems to be a resistance to behaving in a way that is most in service of the broader community. We have become such rugged individualists that we've forgotten that all of us live within communities, and it's incumbent upon each of us. The thriving of the community is incumbent upon each of us individually participating in a way that is best for the community. And yes, this may be the point at which cultural re-architecture begins to happen. Because we're about to see what happens when a hyper-individualized focus wreaks havoc on those around us. I would love to be wrong. I would love for the science not to say that I'm probably right. But what I'm excited about is this is an opportunity for us to change our thinking. So the invitation for everyone who's hearing this live and on the replay, the invitation is to rethink. No, to think about what you want to see created. To carve out time and begin to think about what you want to see created right now. What is it you wanted to see created all along? And what is it that you have felt like is seeking to emerge? Now is the opportunity to begin creating that. Because this is an opportunity to rebuild the way you wish it had been all along. Take this to the systemic level again, because this is the opportunity to rebuild the way you wish it had been all along. What are you seeking to see built? What are you seeking to build, and what do you wish to see rebuilt? So it's Monday. It's an opportunity to begin to create. It's an opportunity to begin to rebuild. This is the beginning of another week. Oh, it's the first Monday of May. So this week, what will you begin to rebuild? What have you wanted all along, and what have you seen that is seeking to emerge? So between now and next Monday, I invite you to come to mindsetmondays.tv. It's the quickest way to get to see all the current and recorded episodes and to dive into the Facebook group and join the conversation. So in the meantime, between now and next week, what mindset will you choose?